Good afternoon. My name is Ursus Perez. I'm going to talk about English class, the first module. This is for evidence 1 of English class. This is a class we take with Mr. Daniel Tapia, and I'm going to talk about what we saw in the subject. We saw during this module, we saw about gerunds, infinitive, relative clauses, personal stories, designs, technologies, and your opinions. I'm going to explain each of these definitions or concepts we saw in class. The first is gerunds. This is a form that is derived from a verb but that functions as a noun. They all end in ing. That means that these are verbs, but it functions as a noun, not as a verb. An example can be Francisco's passion is swimming. The word swimming, it's actually a verb, but it's not used as a verb on this sentence. It's used as a gerund. It's a verb functioning as a noun. That can be infinitive. This is the next topic we saw. Infinitive is the basic form of a verb without any inflection or any, like, you leave it like that. You don't touch it. It's the basic form on a particular subject or tense. That an easy example can be run, swim, hide, to fly. You're not touching the verb, neither do modifying it. You just leave it like that. Relative clause is the next we saw. These are clauses starting with relative pronouns. For example, who, that, which, whose, where, and when. These are relative pronouns. They are most often used to define or identify the noun that precedes them. This only in a relative clause, because these words are almost often used more on questions. But a relative clause is not used as a question. It's a sentence. This kind of a statement. So you can use them. An easy example can be, I talked with Juan, and I talked with Juan, who told me that he owes some homeworks. Who is used as a relative pronoun and not like for asking a question. That's a relative clause, using a relative pronoun, in this example who, to identify the noun that precedes them. A personal story is an experience you may have had, and it can be anything you have lived, like anything you remembered about you being a child. A personal story needs to have any challenge or obstacle it had, and a life lesson you learned about it. The other is design. It's the creation of a plan or convention for the construction of something, like an idea you have to create something else. Maybe it can be a system, an action, or an object, something you want to create. The plan for creating something. I mean, the next is technology. A technology is the collection of a technique, skills, methods, and processes used in production of goods and any other kind of process. Like, for example, a technology can be the manufacturing of clothing. Like before, people used to tailor the clothes, they handmade them, but now there are big industries, companies manufacturing clothes. They create them. That's the use of a technology, because they are creating with machines. They're not using their own skills, but the machine skills. That's technology. And finally, your opinion. An opinion is any particular view or judgment formed about something, like something you see or something you read, and like any idea of something. It's not necessarily based on a fact or a statement. Like, you can hear someone's opinion maybe, or some statement or fact you read on a magazine or book, and you have your own opinion. A good example can be like I read this book, and my opinion it's that I don't like it. That can be an opinion. An opinion it's your personal point of view of something. And well, that was it. That's all we saw on this class, this subject, English. And I hope I learned. I hope you learn too.